Take a look at your family members. Your dad is the CEO, and your brother is the president, and your husband is a vice president. But as you know, in most companies, the weakest link is the middle. Weakest link is the middle. How do you go about attracting people to come in, knowing that as the farthest they'll go up is about the middle? Because if you don't do that, you know you're in trouble right away.
Yeah, yeah, and we've been fortunate up until this point to really, I think we've had so many executives and leaders who have been a part of the team with my father, but they're all, you know, coming up to that age where you know they're needing succession plans, and so we've done a lot of work. I've actually done some work outside the business, but working with the VP of HR and the board, and putting in leadership development and executive development programs. And we've talked about doing rotations, which I did a lot of at J&J, rotating to different parts of the business, some of the younger leaders, and opening up some positions. As we grow, we have more positions open, and then also putting in a pretty robust succession plan. We have that as a kind of a living, breathing document that the board reviews. We review it on the HR committee, and it's an iterative process. It's something that, you know, you always have to be adjusting and looking at and saying, okay, you know, challenging people to get, you know, some executive education, and we do a lot with you know, we have an executive manager training process that works. We work with the teams, and Dan's done a lot of that work with some outside consultants, and it's been, you know, it's been great, kind of bringing them along, and having us also assigning some mentors from the board to some key people that we want to be in future leadership, looking at the emerging leader group and saying who's you know, A, B, or C for that position. If he retires, if, you know, whatever it is, it's like a constant.
So you have a program.
It's a checkerboard.
You have a program. You talked a little bit about recruiting people at the shop level, shop floor level. Do you have difficulty being a mid-sized company, right? Attracting people into more white-collar jobs?
I think we do. I think we do have a challenge. I think, you know, we're not an exciting, you know, technology company, or we're not doing these amazing new marketing programs, because we do a lot of B2B work. So it is a challenge. I think our culture definitely attracts a certain higher caliber of people to be interested in working for our company. But it definitely, as we're growing, we've had some growing pains in that area. You know, we made a conscious effort with hiring an external COO who was retired from GM Delphi, and he was just so excited about the culture. He came out of retirement, and he's a young you know, a young retiree. So he's been, you know, a wonderful mentor for a lot of people in our organization, including Dan. And so that's been, we've had to use alternative recruiting strategies, because you know, it is a challenge when you're up against, you know, Apple and J&J and some really exciting companies to work for.
Because you have two issues there. One is the fact that you're in manufacturing.
Yes.
Because, you know, in America, very, very unfortunately, manufacturing is not sexy.
Right. It's not.
Two is being mid-size.
Yeah.
You're not a brand name like an Apple. Let me ask you, either of you, you've had dinner conversations, you know, family get-togethers. Have you heard your father or your brother, you know, your brother-in-law say, you know what, if only we could attract better talent, we could be doing a whole lot better in this company?
We've talked about it more on the international, the global level. You know, that's been a big challenge for us, especially seeing how when we moved overseas, how well the company did over there, and then when we repatriated, a lot changed, and not having that family involvement there was you know, it's our business, you know, has struggled since we moved back. You know, there's a lot of challenges for us because we were so small, and then, you know, like I said, my father had his team, and they kind of grew up in the business.
Correct.
So here we are, a pretty big, you know, mid-market company, and looking at expanding into China or India, or we have, you know, operations in England and Belgium and Mexico. But you know, we've had a big issue with trying to attract kind of that general manager, global, international leader that can you know, is willing to kind of move where we've put up operations, or hiring them there and them being indoctrinated in the culture that we've developed in Philadelphia. It's been a challenge. If you have any suggestions,
I'll put you in touch with. You know, there is an association called the International Executives Resource Group. These are people who have lived, not visited, lived in at least 3 countries in operational roles.
Okay.
So the chairman of IERG is a good friend, and he's on our board. So I'll put you in touch with him, because he can probably float something and get you at least a few people to talk to.
right.
Well, and Ram, I think Christin is correct. The complexity we've seen in the business in the last 10 years, because look, 10 years ago, everything was in Philadelphia.
Yes.
And it was, I don't want to say very simple. It's already a very complex business, what we do. But now you add into that facilities in Mexico, not a handful of people, half the business.
Yes.
Being in South Texas and Mexico, now the European business, and frankly, 90% of our sales and of our revenue are in North America. So we need to grow either in other channels of distribution, other products, other markets, and that is where I think all of us as a family are saying, you know what, the team has gotten us this far. We need to probably sprinkle in a few more, an outside COO, maybe some other board members with international experience, and get them actually working and mentoring. Absolutely. And we have to come to a determination of, can the existing leadership, where are they going to max out? And it's not a horrible conversation to have. You just need to know and say, you know, how much further can they go? Are they willing to live overseas? Are they willing to get out of this role and into another one? So that's part of the leadership development.